a second, I thought you'd gotten your haircut really short, but it was just an optical illusion.
All right,
Yeah,
ready,
I
not?
just
Probably
got out
wet
of the
hair.
shower.
All right, ready, not?
Okay.
Here we go. Good evening, everybody. It is Thursday night, or as I like to call it, Friday Eve here at Beyond the Airways, the Infinity Project. And since it's Thursday, it's Toss Up Thursday, and tonight's wild card is Food Fascinations. As we say, rest in peace to all those restaurant chains that no longer exist.
Yeah.
After all, there were some of the places I actually grew up with, and some I never actually went to. So, but anyway, yeah, we will talk about that tonight. And I'm going to say, let's do the intros now. I'm your host for tonight. I am Oddbogstream. I'm currently joined on the line by 4 of my crazy cohorts. First, to my immediate left, we have a resident cool cause, Janet. Hello, Janet.
Hello there. I'd wave, but I'm constant. There you go.
There. Yeah, use your right hand to color, and use your left hand to wave. Or do this.
No, actually, I need both hands to play Among Us. So.
Oh,
I
okay.
see.
All right. Well, anyway, to my bottom left, we have both Joker and Oracle. Hello, Mike and Ash.
Evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. And this is the last night that I will be in this apartment. So, beginning Friday night, I'll be at my new place with Ash.
Yes,
Did
he'll
we
be.
expect you in time for the broadcast, or do you think
I
that's
I
likely?
should be able to make it on time.
Cool.
Like,
Yay.
because I mean, the move starts between 4:30 and 5:30. So we should be done by like 7
That's
Gotcha.
good.
at
That's
the
good.
most.
So, in
Because,
other
like I said,
words,
I don't have a lot of big stuff to take out.
that's
Good
good.
deal. Good
And
deal.
plus, Ash and I have been working on getting totes and boxes over first.
Nice.
That saves a lot of hassle later on.
Chicken shit.
So,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Janet.
Something wrong, Janet?
It's
Nothing.
the game. It's the game. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So, in other words, Mike will be at brand new. He'll have his own new headquarters tomorrow.
And hopefully it will be much better than chicken shit.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. I'm just messing with you, Jan. It's all good.
And below me is our Ford Anglia 105E, John. Hello, John.
Hey, Shirley?
All right. Well, first of all, before we get started on the main topic, let me ask you this: do you remember any restaurants you grew up with that don't exist today?
I remember quite a few.
Let's see. How many? No, there's still IHOPs around.
Yeah, I've got an IHOP here, so.
Never been to a Denny's. Let's see.
I've been to
Here's
a
one
Denny's.
that I grew up with that doesn't exist today. The Great Dragon.
There are some that they may still exist elsewhere
No, this
outside of
does not
Iowa.
exist at all.
No, I'm just saying
Great.
that I'm thinking of restaurants that may exist elsewhere but that don't exist in Cedar Rapids Marion anymore.
That's true,
I
too.
understand.
That
I
is
hope you guys forgive me, but the fact is, the Great Dragon was my favorite Chinese buffet until COVID basically killed it. I
Unfortunately,
found
COVID has killed a lot of restaurants.
Yeah, it
yes.
has. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
sad
Kira.
part.
I thankfully have found a nice Chinese buffet that's closer to me than an hour's drive, but
That's well, me. I mean, I'm lucky. I'm fortunate. I still have GT South, that geek and gaming tavern, because when the pandemic hit, I was so worried about Mike. Not you, Mike, but Mike Taylor. He owns the place. And
Right.
the good news is, it looks like they're gonna get out of it
Ashley.
okay. They're gonna get out of it okay because things are starting to get to normal. Things are starting to come back, and
yeah.
they're having like a retro gaming tournament tonight as of right now. So
Woo!
that's
Do
Very
they
nice.
that
still
is a good thing.
Is Mike still requiring masks, or is
Um,
it free to, or
well,
is it mask optional?
I believe it's mask optional. If you've been fully vaccinated, you don't have to. But of course, businesses, they can still do that if they want to. So that's up to Mike. I haven't been there in a while, so But I'd see. What
Yeah.
did I grow up
Well,
with?
a lot of businesses are making it mask optional.
Good
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, I got one of my Among Us masks in my purse, so I will have one.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay, what about you, Janet? Do you remember any restaurants you grew up with that no longer exist today?
Fur's Cafeteria. That was the favorite place my grandma liked to go because they served southern comfort foods. And it was a cafeteria. You take the tray, you go, I want this, want this, and you put it on your tray. And that was Fur's Cafeteria. I
Ah.
remember doing that.
Quick thing, Shirley. I did just remember something that may count as a restaurant that no longer exists.
Okay.
You familiar with Captain Bear's?
Oh, actually, I'm not.
Okay, it's similar to, well, it was an old restaurant similar to Chuck E. Cheese's. It's long gone now, and I'm not sure I remember ever being there, but I do remember uh, kazoos shaped like pirate bears from that restaurant.
Well, I remember Showbiz Pizza.
That may be the one I'm thinking of. I'm
Yeah,
not
cause
sure.
yeah, cause Showbiz Pizza, you have that animatronic band on the stage, so forth, and I would go there. We would go there every so often for like some birthday parties and such, and sometimes we just go there, have the
Yeah,
pizza, play games. Of course, that no longer exists. Chuck E. Cheese, it's still around, but I don't know how much longer, to be honest with you.
it feels like it kind of got replaced by Dave and Buster's.
Well, the thing is, we still don't have a Dave and Buster's here in Montgomery yet.
I
I
don't know
just,
if David Buster's
I
is
don't
Cedar
know,
Rapids or Marion.
I don't know about you guys, but the first time I saw commercials for Dave and Buster's, all I could think was, okay, I think America's finally gone downhill. Because it's like we have a restaurant chain that is encouraging grown adults to act like kids. This is not good.
But yeah, it's like like it'd be kind of nice. We used to have, what was it? We had Q tag, laser tag, that kind of deal. Qzar, that was the name of the place I had. Qzar. It was like a laser tag game. I would go there like on some Wednesday nights after class or something. Just one game, have fun,
Yeah.
play and all. That sure didn't last long. It only lasted like maybe a couple, 3, 4 years. So, but I think, let's see, restaurant I grew up with. I never went into this one, Piccadilly Cafeteria, because we had two. One was in Eastdale Mall, and the other, believe it or not, is where the Goodwill store is now.
I'm trying to remember which Jethro Tull song it was that referenced Piccadilly Circus. I think it was.
Oh, I'm trying to think too. I'm a huge Toll fan, so.
Hold on just a second. I know where to look.
Oh my God, Piccadilly Circus.
Holy Piccadilly, Batman.
I think it's Cheap Day Return, maybe. No, I think it was Mother Goose. Yeah.
Yeah, Mother Goose, Aqualung album.
That's where I got all of mine, or all the ones in my collection, that it is.
I just got the A album.
Nice.
They just re-released it back in February for its, well, technically last year it was its 40th anniversary, but they released it this year, which is, that's all right.
Yeah.
I hope that they continue to release Beast and the Broadsword and Under Wraps, but those were my other favorite albums before Ian Anderson's voice went.
Yeah. So does the re-release of Aqualung still have the mock scripture in the cover, or do you know?
Maybe I have to take a look. I
So
have the
one that
50th
goes,
anniversary one.
it's the scripture. It's typically printed in that. I'm trying to remember the name of the font. Uh, the Gazette, the Cedar Rapids Gazette, used to have its title printed in that font,
Um,
but It went, in the beginning, man created God, and in the image of man he created him. And he gave unto God a multitude of names, so that he might be Lord over everything when it was suited to man.
Yeah, that whole second side of that album kind of really hit hard on religion.
Yeah.
All right.
We can
Oh,
we can
it's
we can talk about that on another episode.
Yeah.
I'll just say this: back in the '70s, per the zeitgeist, it was real cool to say that religion was one big crock of shit, and Jethro Tull was no exception.
That's true. All right. So anyway, let's get our train back on track here. I
Yep.
thought, yeah. So anyway, don't worry about. Hey, when you get Piccadilly Cafeteria, Piccadilly Circus, and Jethro Tull into the same situation.
It happens.
Yep,
Could you
exactly.
imagine if over in England, see, in British English, circus is an old term for circle,
Right.
like a street circle.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they built a little cafe on Piccadilly Circus and called it Piccadilly Cafeteria?
Oh God.
There might even be one. I don't know.
Who knows? You could be right. Or it could be
I
Piccadilly
think
I
I'd
got a
Cafeteria, like
just
a,
restaurant for
or
check.
you.
have Piccadilly Cafeteria like a cafe stand in there somewhere.
I got a place for you that I don't think's around anymore.
What's that?
The Spaghetti Company. The Spaghetti Company.
Never
It
heard of
used to
that
be
one.
down on Alma School and Southern,
Okay.
near Fiesta
What?
Mall, back
Okay.
when I was living there.
Uh,
The Spaghetti Company.
I
Okay.
can think of noodles and noodles
See, I
and
remember
company.
Bonanza. Da, 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 Bonanza.
Bonanza. I remember Bonanza.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun.
And I will tell you something. I'll tell
Hospital
you something
Joe.
funny. I'm going to tell you something really funny. When I was working at Herb Jones, every so often we have to have, we have the business, these little business logos and things we find on pages. I don't know how the hell we still had Bonanza. Seriously.
Hang on to it. Take pictures if you gotta, cause
I've got a whole CD-ROM of them.
nice.
Dude.
so, so, but yeah, I remember Bonanza. We had 3 Shoney's restaurants. They're all gone.
Shoney's.
Yep.
There was one of those briefly in my neck of the woods. It became a Mexican place.
Let's
But
see.
I remember Shoney's.
Yeah, the three Shoney's I had. One on West South Boulevard, I think is just, dead and gone.
Gone.
Another one turned into Jan's. I think it's like Jan's Grill, something like that. And then the other one is now an automotive and tire shop.
Nice.
So, but anyway, I've been looking things up, found like found the 20 chains that have basically no longer exist today. So
Hmm.
I'm going to put the link.
Excuse me.
I'm going to put the link in every chat room. So I'm going to start with Zoom first.
Good deal.
I'm going to put it up so that way Ash and I can read it together.
All right, so I got Zoom.
Pop culture. That's a good
I swear this metal mug sounds like a bell when I try to put the lid on.
ding, ding, ding,
It's
ding,
a
ding.
thermal mug.
one.
I remember Bennigan's being referenced in South Park, but I'm getting ahead of things.
That's fine. Okay, now that we all got that settled, turn off the chat here because I don't want it showing up in the window. All right, now let me get the picture-in-picture real quick so I can get that going. And yes, you're gonna see black, folks, so just bear with me, growl.
Hey guys, tell me if this rings a bell. There's a picture in that picture.
Picture in a picture.
Let me ask you
Can't be
this.
South Park, I don't think.
No, you guys remember an old sitcom called Third Rock from the Sun?
Yes.
Yes.
There was a
Heard
scene,
of it,
I
but I
just
was
remember it in the
trying.
promos, where French Stewart's and Kristen Johnson's characters were in an electronics shop. They saw a TV that had the picture-in-a-picture function, and they were just awestruck by it, and they were both pointing at the screen, yelling, "There's a picture in that picture!"
Oh, damn it, the dog gone.
What?
I'm trying to get the link to open.
Um, Open fine for me.
Yeah. It should open because I put up with no problem.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, this is from popculture.com. So here's how it goes. Now this was back in 2018. Who knows? It's probably been updated by now. But let's see. Chain restaurants like Applebee's, Fridays, Chili's, and Outback may dominate highways and mall locations alike. But it wasn't always that way. So you can remember these totally or nearly defunct chain restaurants from decades ago. First up is Valley's Steakhouse. Called a game
Are you sure
changer.
that's not Val's or
It could be Val's.
I don't know what nationality the name comes from, so I
Or it
don't
could be
know.
Valier's Steakhouse. Who knows?
Getting close.
Well, it's an
If it's
East Coast chain.
Spanish, yeah,
Yeah. I'll probably just call it Val's.
good idea.
All right. Called a game changer. Inexpensive surf and turf came in the form of Val's, an East Coast chain that saw good business from 1933 until the millennium. Although it made it until 2000, the weekend economy that followed the 1970s gas crisis is thought to have sealed its destiny. Aw. Then we have,
Probably. This one we had local.
Hmm?
Bennigan's.
yeah.
Only
Okay,
I
go ahead.
don't think I ever had one. Go ahead, John.
the only time I ever heard the name Bennigan's was on an episode of South Park where Butters essentially pulled a Harley Quinn and tried to make a name for himself as a supervillain.
All right.
I
So,
ain't kidding.
I don't blame you. Let's see. One of America's first casual dining sports bar chains, Bennigan's often lagged behind similar concepts from contemporaries like Fridays, Applebee's, and Chili's. The chain was sold several times over the years and filed for bankruptcy in 2008. New ownership has kept just 23 locations open in the U.S.
Hmm.
I don't think Arizona's one was one of them.
Let's see. Bob's Big Boy. Founded in Southern California
I
in
remember that one too.
Yep. Founded in Southern California in 1936, only 5 Bob's Big Boys remain in operation today. However,
And they're
other
probably
big boy
all in Cali.
Yep. However, other big boy restaurants across the country remain open, sporting the
Oh,
double-decker
never mind.
burgers and iconic mascot that became a staple of American eateries throughout the 20th century. And Janet, you and I met Big
Yeah,
Boy
but
at San Diego Comic-Con. Remember?
yeah, yeah. And I remember a lot of people were objecting to the mascot, was objecting to Big Boy because it helped fuel obesity.
Hmm. Who doesn't object to mascots in some way or another these days?
Yeah, tell me about
Yeah.
it.
You got the Washington Redskins coming under fire, admittedly, understandably. You got Big Boy under fire. You got
The tomahawk chop.
Yep.
yeah.
Tomahawk chop.
Let's see. Burger Chef. Picture a fierce competitor to McDonald's with over 1,000 locations, and you're picturing Burger Chef in its heyday. The chain is noted for introducing several fast food staples to the industry, like kids' meals with toys. However, they were doomed by bad business practices, and Burger Chef was sold to Hardee's in 1981.
Wow.
Gee, I wonder if Burger Chefs because
So Burger Chef basically became Carl's Jr. / Hardee's.
that's strange because here we have Hardee's. In Janet's neck of the woods, they're called Carl's Jr. They have the exact same logo, same style.
Yeah. Only one difference.
Just a different name.
Hardee's doesn't have a guy going around constantly saying, "Brought to you by Carl's Jr."
True. Let's see. Charlie Brown's Steakhouse. A quickly growing retail chain out of New Jersey in the 80s and 90s. Charlie Brown's Steakhouse went out of business though some franchise owners have stayed open as Charlie Brown's Fresh Grill.
Were they able to get any kind of rights to use Peanuts
Peanuts?
characters? Or do
It
know?
doesn't
You
say.
know what? Surely. You know what what the owners probably said when their restaurants had to close? Good grief.
Oh, good one. All right. So anyway,
I've actually been. Sorry, I've been to this next one. There used to be one in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
I
I
had
think
one
it's
here
gone
too.
now.
Yeah, I had one here too. Chi-Chi's. Launched in the 1970s by Marno McDermott and
Oh
NFL star
man,
Max McGee, Chi-Chi's quickly grew, introducing a rudimentary menu of Mexican-style food to many American towns. As the popularity and variety of Mexican restaurants grew, Chi-Chi's began to suffer the consequences. The kiss of death for the franchise came in 2003 when a hepatitis outbreak in the food supply led to 3 customer deaths.
on a lighter note, who
Ooh.
here remembers what Chi-Chi's means in Spanish?
Oh, I forgot.
You guys ready?
Something
Yep.
rude.
It's Spanish.
Something rude.
Well, basically, it's Spanish for Hooters.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Chi-Chi's.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, then we have
Okay.
Delight.
Why did they name a restaurant after Hooters?
Because of the fact that they were probably trying to be crass and to
Mhm.
show off the fact that Americans were ignorant of Spanish culture.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead
Anyway,
and read that Delights.
yeah, Delights. An unusual tactic on fast food. Delights marketed itself based on nutritional value. It boasted about low-calorie cheese, buns high in fiber, and hamburgers made with lean beef. Founded in 1978, there were more than 100 locations by 1985. But by 1987, it had sold 90% of its restaurants to Hardee's after ceasing to franchise in 1986 and filing for bankruptcy. All
Nice.
right. Then we have Gino's Hamburgers. Football Hall of Famer Gino Marchetti opened the first Gino's Hamburgers in 1957. And by the 70s, he was able to boast over 300 locations. In the early 1980s, he sold the chain to the Marriott hotel chain, which quickly converted all the Ginos into Roy Rogers. Marchetti returned to the restaurant business in 2010, opening up a new Gino's location. Doesn't say where it is, though. All right. Then we have
Nice.
Henry's Hamburgers. One of the countless mimics of McDonald's, Henry Hamburgers was a major player in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. By the early 60s, there were over 200 Henry's locations, more than McDonald's had at the time.
Oh,
However,
sorry, just reading ahead.
oh, that's all right. However, a rapid fall from success, including failure to evolve and a controversy involving horse meat, resulted in just one's Henry's location still being open today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Shirley.
Yes.
On
I
that
thought it was the
Gino's
fact that they sold
Hamburgers.
shrimp.
Shirley.
Yeah.
On that Gino's Hamburgers, there's 2 locations that I can see.
Okay. Where?
Greenville, Miss. There's one Gino's Hamburgers and Catfish, and that's in Greenville, Mississippi, and the other one's in Maryland.
Ah. So there's one not too far from me, huh? Interesting. All right.
Maryland.
Yeah. Next up, Howard
Okay.
Johnson's. I remember Howard Johnson's.
I
So
wish I
do
could say
I.
the same.
The Howard Johnson's hotel restaurant chains began in the 1920s and evolved along with the American car culture. By the 1960s, over 1,000 of the chain's distinctive orange roofs dotted U.S. highways. And I still remember there was one right off of Exit 6 on Eastern Boulevard. The hotel portion of the business has been sold off, still existing in name, but with none of the classic Hojo design elements. Meanwhile, the restaurant portion of the business died a slow death with just one Howard Johnson still in business. Unfortunately, it ain't mine, because now there's a Drury Hotel where that Howard Johnson used to be.
Nice.
Let's see. Kenny Rogers
Okay.
Roasters. I actually did have this one in Montgomery. Country music legend Kenny Rogers teamed with business partner John Y. Brown to launch the Kenny Rogers Roasters chicken chain in 1990. While the food was popular, the restaurants were never able to break into the market and were sold off to Nathan's in 1998. Seinfeld fanatics will remember a classic episode in which the
One
chicken
put chicken to hot
franchise
dogs,
was.
huh?
Yep. Yeah, Seinfeld fanatics will remember a classic episode in which the chicken franchise was forever immortalized.
Very nice.
Oh my God! An animated character owned a restaurant.
Yep. Lums.
Yep.
Yep. Let's see. Two brothers, Clifford and Stuart Perlman, launched Lum's, which specialized in beer-themed hot dogs in Florida in 1971. The chain's unique menu and distinctive glass-doored storefronts made it popular enough to support 400 locations at one point. The Perlman brothers eventually sold the chain to Kentucky Fried Chicken for $4 million, and the brand was eventually phased out, with the final Lum's closing in 2009. Aww.
By the way, Janet, that wasn't the first fast food joint to be owned. Well, it may have been the first fast food chain. It wasn't the first chain to be owned by a cartoon character.
What was the other one?
Charlie Brown's Steakhouse.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, well, I'm talking anime, but you're right.
Okay.
Well, anime is a form of animation, even if it's
True.
very unique.
Yep. All right. Then we got Minnie Pearl's Chicken. In what is now regarded as a cautionary tale of slapping a famous name on a restaurant and calling it quite, Minnie Pearl's Chicken, named after the country singer Pearl, once had over 500 locations in business. However, due to a lack of cohesive menu or recipes, the chain quickly fell apart within a few years.
This next one, I haven't been to Bonanza. I've been to Ponderosa before. It used to be my maternal grandparents' favorite.
I know we had a Bonanza here. I know I went at least twice. Let's see.
Nice.
Ponderosa Steakhouse and Bonanza Steakhouse. Ponderosa and Bonanza Steakhouses, now owned by the same parent company, once numbered in the hundreds combined in the United States. Today, the total of both stands at under 20 across the country.
Nice.
All right, then we have Pup and Taco.
Wow.
Yeah. Despite the taco specification in the chain's name, you had a much wider variety than simply tacos at Pup and Tacos. Think tacos, hamburgers, hot dogs, and pastrami sandwiches. The first restaurant opened in 1965, and success came quickly after that. By 1973, there were 62 of them. In 1984, Taco Bell bought 99 Pup and Taco restaurants in California, but not 3 stores in Albuquerque, 2 of which went by the name Pop and Taco. Those stores finally closed in the 2010s.
Nice.
All right, then we have what?
The next one.
Okay.
Sambos.
You guys aren't familiar with Sambo dolls, are you?
No.
They have
Read on and you'll
they have the
understand.
stereotypical big lips.
Yep. Let's see. With a name that combined its founding members' names, Sambo was opened by Sam Battistone and Newell F. Bonnet in 1957. The company soon fell into controversy when opponents argued its name was a reference to a derogatory term for African Americans. The restaurant had almost 1,000 locations at its height, but shut down in the 80s after most were sold to Denny's.
I'll tell you what happened to me when my mom was driving with a car full of kids.
Yeah.
And we were going to go to Magic Mountain. And we kept going on and on and on and on. So finally we had to stop into a Sambo's restaurant to get directions.
Nice.
And that was back in the 70s. That was back in the 70s.
Right.
Go ahead.
All right, then we have Sandy's. Launched in the mid-1960s by a group of disgruntled McDonald's employees, Sandy's offered similar menus to the Golden Arches, but there were key differences in their business structure. Think, including operators of the restaurants owning their stores and not leasing from the corporation and not being required to buy supplies from the corporation. By the early 1970s, financial issues forced them to sell to Hardee's. Now, why can't a disgruntled
Janet, you got
employee
another-
do that?
Boy, sounds like
Say
the
again,
Hardee's.
Shirley?
Yeah, it's like, boy, it's like you hear about how disgruntled employees go, doing the shootings and such. It's like,
Yeah.
at least this group didn't do that.
Well, better that than I won't mention it. Okay. Better that than say having fun with the food they're preparing. Quick thing, Janet. Here's
And
another
very
fast
disgusting, right?
food. Janet, here's another fast food
I'm
chain
listening,
owned by
I'm
a
listening.
cartoon. Here's another fast food chain owned by a cartoon character. Joker, Oracle, you probably got that reference.
Yeah, Jetsons. Wetsons,
Yep.
Jetsons.
Yep.
No,
Right.
Sandy's.
What?
You guys never watched SpongeBob when you were young, did you?
No,
No.
Sandy's the squirrel in the permanently in
Sandy
the diving
Cheeks.
suit.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, let's see. We have the All American Burger. Although the Southern California All American Burger was never more than a regional success, it made its claim to fame when it was featured in the 1982 movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High. The film's cult following outlived the restaurants, and its final West Coast location closed in 2010. However, East Coast residents may be excited to learn that a Massapequa, Long Island establishment using the same name and logos has been flipping burgers since 1961.
Nice.
All right, then we have Wetson's. Long Island native Herb Wettinson was inspired to found Wetson's after seeing McDonald's while on a road trip out west. With help from his family, Wettinson opened the first Wetson's in 1959. Initially, the chain and its 15-cent hamburgers were a massive success. However, the chain fell on hard times when McDonald's and Burger King aggressively expanded into the New York market in the 1970s. By the end of the decade, Wetson's was but a memory. All right. White Tower. If White Tower's name sounds a bit repetitive of White Castle, that's because the restaurant was doing its best to imitate the slider chain. Opened by John E. Sachs and his son Thomas, White Tower copied White Castle's menu style, advertising, and even architecture. At its height, there were 230 White Towers, but the chain died after legal action from White Castle forced them to make significant changes.
Nice. And that looks like it, unless you want
That
to go
was the last
into
one.
10 celebrities who were tragically murdered.
Yeah, but at least I found something else. 40 iconic restaurants that no longer exist. And this is from delish.com. This was 2019.
Yeah. Go
So,
for it.
There we go. We're the middle
so
west.
let me get, so I'm going to put all the links everywhere. So give me, I get my mouth to work.
Dripping over your tongue, girl.
Yes, I am.
There we
I,
go.
I trippeth, I trippeth over my tongue. All right.
Okay, put the link in the
Just
chat.
did. It's already did.
The Zoom
Already
chat.
there. Check your Zoom chat.
Oh.
It's there. All right. So, oh, this is a slideshow. So, all right. So here we go. First, we have 1961, the original McDonald's. With over 37,000 restaurants worldwide, it's safe to say McDonald's isn't going anywhere. But the original McDonald's Drive-In, which was founded in 1948 and located in San Bernardino, California, isn't a McDonald's restaurant anymore. After
Very
brothers,
nice.
after brothers Richard and Maurice McDonald signed over the rights to their company to franchise agent Ray Kroc in 1961, they forfeited the right to their name. In 1971, the building where fast food was born and was demolished and turned into an unofficial museum for the chain by restaurateur Albert Okura.
Hmm.
Oh, all right. Then we have the Stork Club. Let's see, 1965. The Stork Club was an integral part of the New York City social scene in the early 19th century. Open from 1929 to 1965, the restaurant and nightclub was a place where celebrities and socialites alike could enjoy cocktails, a steak dinner, and a night of dancing. The prestigious hotspot closed in 1965, and although there were talks of it relocating, owner Sherman Billingsley died shortly after. The club's iconic building was later demolished and turned into Paley Park.
Wonder if he's any relation to Barbara and Peter Billingsley.
That's a good question. I guess I could check and I could check and find out. Hang on.
One.
Let's see. I'll check here and find out. Let's see. Sherman Billingsley. Barbara was his daughter.
Nice.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Barbara Billingsley was Sherman's daughter.
In a small world after all.
No, it's a tiny, tiny world. It's a
Now I'm going to skip this one because we already talked about Minnie Pearl's fried chicken.
Well, it does
Yeah, but look
mention
at the picture they chose for it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And there's
like they
that
got
iconic. There's that
it's like
iconic price tag hanging from her.
You were saying, John?
it was like trying to remember her name. It's like they had Julia Child's pose making the fried chicken.
Let's see. Well,
Who
there's a
was
little
that?
more to this story. Founder Jay Hooker set up a copycat model of the restaurant and hired popular comedic actress Minnie Pearl as the spokesperson. After much success, the company took their
There
stock
we
public,
go.
but after an investigation by the Security Exchange Commission and inquiries with their books, the chain closed up shop in 1968.
We will target the businesses suspected of fronting for the syndicate in this city. Am I right?
That sounds about right. Let's see. Oh, wow. 1971. Toots Shores Restaurant. Okay.
Two chores.
Yep.
Hmm.
During the 40s and 50s, every A-list
Hey,
celeb was
Toot
a regular
Shore?
at Toots Shores, from Frank Sinatra and Marilyn Monroe to Jackie Gleason and Julie Garland. The exclusive New York City bar, owned by Bernard Shores, served steak and baked potatoes, among other things, but the crowd was the real attraction. The establishment closed in 1971 when the building was seized for taxes. Even though Shore reopened a year later, the restaurant's heyday had passed.
Nice.
Ooh, 1979, the Cloud Club in New York City's Chrysler Building.
Cool.
For more than 40 years, a private luncheon club for Manhattan's titans of industry was located 68 floors above Manhattan and nestled into one of the most iconic buildings in New York City. Founded in 1930, the Cloud Club offered more than just food. It also had a private locker room, cigar selection, and a two-story view of Manhattan. Since the club closed in 1979, the space has remained vacant, and many of the original old Art Deco fixtures have been removed or damaged. That's sad.
Avengers.
Yeah.
I wish they could find a way to restore it.
Sounds
There's
like
the Sambo's
scavengers
restaurant
got the.
again.
Woohoo.
Yep. Yeah, the casual diner opened during the peak of roadside dining in 1957. It gained massive popularity in part for its fluffy pancakes, and in the years to follow, there would be a chain in 47 states. The eatery was not controversial, though, as that name is a derogatory slang word used towards African Americans. As the chain opened more and more restaurants, especially in bigger cities, customers began objecting to the tone deaf marketing. The restaurant eventually rebranded itself, changing its name to No Place Like Sam's and Jolly Tiger. However, there's still one original Sambo's left in the United States, the original restaurant, which is run by the founder's grandson in Santa Barbara, California.
Nice.
Interesting. All right. 1985, Dubro's Cafeteria.
Okay, guess what?
What?
Guess what?
What?
Go back to Sambo's a minute.
Okay.
The last, the Sambo's last remaining Sambo's finally erases its name.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. Okay. The restaurant in Santa Barbara, California, the chain's original store, has not chosen a new name yet, but has covered over the letters on its sign with the symbols for peace and as well as the word love.
Okay.
But I can understand that. I can really understand that.
All right.
You
1985.
know?
Yeah. Let's see. Next up is 1985, Dubro's Cafeteria. For 33 years, this New York City family-owned cafeteria-style institution served as a rallying point for hopeful politicians. Both JFK and Ed Koch campaigned here, as well as a favorite dining destination for locals. But sadly, Dubro's closed in the late 1980s as the trend of diners began to die down.
Nice. Yeah, that's what happens when Family Day or Happy Days starts to go into reruns.
Let's see. Of course, there's Gino's Hamburgers, but there's more to this story this time. At the start, Gino's Hamburgers was simply Gino's Drive-In, a hamburger company started in Baltimore, Maryland in the late 1950s. The company was known for its celebrity endorsements like Muhammad Ali and comedian Soupy Sales, which I met in 2004 at Dragon Con,
Nice.
as well as their monstrous burgers like the Sirloiner and the famous Giant. In 1982, the company was sold to Marriott and used as a foothold to expand their chain. Roy Rogers. By 1986, Gino's was no longer in operation. But yes, I met Soupy Sales in 2004 at DragonCon. He was not in the best of health either, but just a chance to see him, that was just amazing.
Uh-huh.
All right, 1987, Brown Derby.
Hmm.
The Brown Derby became a Hollywood institution after the original Wilshire Boulevard location was founded by Herbert K. Sonborn in 1926. The restaurant became known for hosting celebrity clientele, walls adorned with caricatures, and the unique building. which was shaped like a bowler hat. But as Hollywood as Hollywood exited the golden era, so did the Brown Derby, and by 1987, all 4 locations were closed. Aw.
Why do the icons have to go in pieces of shit go up in its place?
I don't know. Let's see.
Because taste changed, Janet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
not necessarily for the good either.
Yeah.
1989, Beefsteak Charlie's. Ooh.
Wow, it's Colonel Sanders, but he looks vaguely Mexican.
Yeah. What started as a popular Manhattan restaurant founded in 1914 grew to a huge chain throughout the Northeast during the 80s. Beefsteak
And I
Charlie's
hate to say it,
commercials. Mhm.
I hate to say it, but they should have picked a different still for that thumbnail because Beefsteak Charlie looks way too interested in that kid.
Yeah. Let's see. Beefsteak Charlie's commercials are famous for constantly plaguing viewers with their unlimited salad and shrimp bar, but unfortunately, after getting acquired in 1987, the restaurant slowly went out of business. All right.
Yes, I agree with you.
Oh my
Beefsteak Charlie
God.
looks like a perv.
Whoa.
Boston Sea Party.
Oh,
All right.
the
In the late,
name, the name.
yeah. In the late 70s, it was hard to find a theme restaurant that didn't do well, but by far the most inventive was Boston Sea Party, the nautical themed restaurant that served up unbelievable deals on seafood, as waiters wore colonial garb, no less, was scattered across the country. However, the chain closed quietly over the years, and the last one was shut down in 1994.
Could you imagine
Jason's.
what it'd be like if they reopened that today?
Oh boy. Let's see. Jason's. In 1936, Jason's opened and instantly drew in a flurry of Hollywood clientele. Over the years, the West Hollywood restaurant became famous for its Academy Award after parties as much as it was known for its chili. But after 24 years, the glamorous watering hole closed in 1995.
All I can think of there is Steve Smith of American Dad going, now that I'm a man, I think I'm going to start making a not so good chili and call it my famous chili.
Yeah. And then we talked about Burger Chef earlier. Starting with a small shop in Indiana in 1954, Burger Chef eventually grew to over 1,000 locations and rivaled fast food giant McDonald's. After years of success, the owners sold the popular burger joint to Hardee's in 1982. Sadly, the last storefront with the name closed in 1996.
Nice.
Ooh, Mr. Steak. Let's see. Mr. Steak was a quality yet affordable steakhouse that took the United States by storm in the 60s. After starting a small operation in Colorado Springs, the chain eventually grew to over 200 restaurants in the US and Canada. In the 1980s, the restaurant began to decline as it switched up menu items in favor of more chicken and fish. Eventually, pieces of the franchise were sold off, and it slowly dwindled, with the last location closing in the mid 1990s.
Nice.
We just talked about Kenny Rogers Roasters. Let's see. Never grew to tremendous profit. However, it was memorialized on the sitcom Seinfeld, and some remain in operation in Asia.
Mm.
Wow.
Let's see. Oh, wow. 1998. Sign of the Dove. Okay. Let's see.
Ooh.
Sign of the Dove is considered one of the lost gems in New York after closing and eventually being demolished in 1998. The hole it left in the landscape was more than physical. One of many iconic Upper East Side eateries owned by the Santo family group, the fine dining experience in its garden of stained glass was said to have been magnificent, explained the New York Times.
Wow.
And look at
You
that
know
picture.
what?
That's gorgeous.
Aaron
Yeah.
and Ben would be appalled to see how that pretty architecture get demolished.
Yeah. 1999, the
Okay.
Fashion Cafe.
Cool.
Let's see. In the 90s, one restaurant group decided to capitalize on the era of the supermodel. Fashion Cafe in New York City gathered iconic models together like Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, Elle Macpherson, and Claudia Schiffer to endorse it. However, the international chain ceased operations in 1999.
Nice.
22 years ago.
Then there's Val's Steakhouse once again. Ooh, filet mignon $6.95.
Oh,
Don't you
you know
miss
how much
those
a filet
days?
mignon is now?
Too
I don't like
expensive.
to think.
Yeah.
Ooh, 2000, La Petite Boulangerie. Did I spell that? Did I say that right?
La Petite Boulangerie.
Thank you. American bakery chain La Petite Boulangerie, or Little Bakery, did indeed start out small, with only 2 stores in the beginning. In 1982, the company was bought by PepsiCo and expanded across the United States. The company, famous for its warm croissants, had 93 stores in its peak, but eventually closed down in 2000.
Yeah.
Bon appetit and l'appétit.
Oh, we.
Let's see,
Are we
2001,
going
the
to be able to
originals.
get them all in?
I think so. Let's see, 2001, the original Spago, the restaurant
Boy,
of
that
world-renowned.
sounds un-PC, doesn't it?
Yeah. The restaurant of world-renowned chef Wolfgang Puck became a Hollywood hangout when it opened in 1982 on the Sunset Strip. Although Puck owns other locations of Spago, in 2001 the chef decided to close down the original, which had become an institution amongst Hollywood's heavy hitters.
Nice.
All right. Bill Knapp's. Let's see.
Back when I was in elementary school, I never had her for a teacher, but there was a teacher whose family name was Knapp.
I had a coworker named Randy Knapp.
Nice.
So, let's see. Bill Knapp's made a name for itself in the restaurant world thanks to his quality ingredients and menu full of home cooked full of home cooked food. Not to mention its dreamy chocolate cake. Founded in 1948 in Michigan, the Homestyle Eatery had more than 60 locations across the states before it closed down in 2002.
May it rest well.
That cake looks.
Me
I'm drooling.
All right.
too.
There's Chi-Chi's.
Yeah, there's Chi-Chi's again. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Chi-Chi's came before Chipotle and Taco Bell, but um, Chi-Chi's was not able to compete, and of course they had the hepatitis outbreak. So
All
Well,
I
you
could,
know what? Chipotle's had a problem with.
yeah, you ever
Oh,
heard
what?
of a product called Chipotle?
no,
No.
Watch an old South Park episode about Ike Broflovsky being able to see dead people, and you'll find out all about
Yeah.
it.
But anyway, Chipotle's had the same problem with
Salmonella?
what you get when the lettuce is contaminated.
so
That sounds like salmonella.
yeah,
Yeah.
hmm
Chipotle's people wouldn't go there for a long time
yeah,
because of that.
Like I
Okay,
said,
next.
Janet Shirley, look into Chipotle away.
okay. Anyway, next up, 2006, the Stock Exchange Luncheon Club. Ever wonder how the movers and shakers of Wall Street spend their lunch breaks? Well, for a while, most of them had their midday meal at the Stock Exchange Luncheon Club, a members-only dining club located on the 7th floor of the New York Stock Exchange, which was founded in 1898.
Wow.
Wow. However, those are distant memories now, as the club closed in April of 2006.
Nice.
I'll be damned.
All right.
108 years it held in there.
Yep.
108.
2007, the official All-Star Cafe. In the 90s, better known as the era of gimmicky restaurants, a set of iconic athletes, Wayne Gretzky, Andre Agassi, and Joe Montana, to name a few, teamed up with Planet Hollywood to open the official All-Star Cafe. The chain not only included classic sports memorabilia and a menu of traditional bar food, but also hosted premieres and events with some of the top celebrities and sports figures in the world. Sadly, the restaurant wasn't a home run and ceased operations in 2007. Oh,
Oh,
bad
jeez,
fun.
it didn't
I
last
wonder
very
how
long.
often.
Nope.
I wonder how often they played the song "All Star" by Smash Mouth
Oogies.
when they were operating.
Good question. All right, 2008. Googie's Italian Diner.
Wow.
Since the early 2000s, New York has seen the death of many iconic diners. Googie's was one of the Upper East Side's best casual Italian spots and has been missed dearly since it closed in 2008.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, I remember Steak and Ale.
Very nice.
Yeah, I had a Steak and Ale here in Montgomery. Let's see. Steak and Ale was ahead of its time. The casual dining steakhouse, founded in 1966, was one of the first restaurants to conceptualize the steak and salad bar combination. Although it went bankrupt in 2008, the chain sold all of its menu items and brand property to Legendary Restaurant Group. So here's hoping for a comeback.
I ever told you guys about Cakes and Ale?
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, this is an old anecdote. There was once a military school over in England that was giving its final exams. During the middle of one test, one of the students went up to the proctor and asked him for cakes and ale. Proctor didn't know what to make of that, so they went to the headmaster. And the student explained that the school, which was founded in the Middle Ages, had an old rule that said if the students were kept in exams for more than X number of hours, the school had to provide them with cakes and ale.
Ooh.
They settled in the end on giving him hamburgers and Coke. Then, citing another rule, fined the student 8 shillings for not wearing his ceremonial sword.
Oh.
Nice,
All
yes?
right. I
Yeah.
mean, you want me to read Elaine's?
No, I mean I can keep going. I got it. Or if you want to, go
All
ahead.
right. Okay, 2011, Elaine's. Excuse me. If I garble, let me know and you can take over.
Okay.
Elaine's was a New York City institution since opening in 1963 and remained one until it closed in 2011. Popular with celebrities in the social set, fans and photographers would frequently crowd the sides of the yellow awning just to sneak a peek at who was entering and exiting those signature wooden doors. Sadly, after legendary proprietor Elaine Kaufman passed away in 2010, the restaurant closed for
May they
good
both rest in peace.
because they probably couldn't keep it up with the,
Yeah.
Lions restaurant. 2012, customers were instructed to eat like a king at Lions, a competitor to Denny's, with casual dining and low-cost breakfast. The chain was founded in 1952 and continued to grow over the years. However, after filing for bankruptcy in 1998, the company was acquired and sold in 2001. The last location closed in 2012.
Yep.
Chicken fried steak.
I'd eat there.
Okay, never
Okay.
mind.
I can read this one. 2012, the Sage Deli.
Okay.
Located on 7th Avenue, the Sage was one of the most popular delis in New York City after being founded in 1937 and was known for having a menu full of Broadway-inspired dishes. But after 75 years in the business, the famous restaurant went out of business in 2012. Ooh, Bohuka. All right. In 1967, Bohuka was opened in Los Angeles to capitalize on the tiki phenomena in the U.S. at the time. The family-owned restaurant became well known for its many fish tanks and novelty decor, but sadly served its last tiki drink in 2013.
Yeah,
That was
good thing
just
it
9 years ago. No, 8 years ago.
good thing it didn't live
It was
long enough
just
for
8 years
somebody
ago.
to decide it was somehow its name was somehow politically incorrect.
Yeah, that's true. Pasties. When Pasties opened in 1980, the French cuisine and Parisian bistro decor made it a fixture in the New York City restaurant circuit, a spot that's been sorely missed since it shuttered its doors in 2014. However, much to the city's delight, the French bistro reopened in 2019, however, to a new location.
Nice.
Oh,
Well, it's not really out of business if it just moved.
yeah. No, I mean, it shuttered in 2014, and it looks like it reopened by the time this thing was done in 2019. Let's see. Da Silvano. Da Silvano spent 45 years serving up authentic high-end Italian cuisine in Greenwich Village. Sadly, the restaurant, famous for its outdoor dining and frequent celebrity presence, closed in 2016 due to high minimum wage costs and increased rent. That's not
Well,
surprising.
that's what kills a lot of restaurants.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, it's
the cost of supplies,
Hmm?
the high wage,
Yep.
it's lucky it
and the
survived.
increase in rent a lot.
Uh-huh.
It's lucky for where it is. It survived the Great Blackout of 1989.
Yeah. Let's
You
see.
know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
What am I talking about?
The power outage.
I'm talking about the movie Ghostbusters 2.
Oh.
Maybe this line will ring a bell. I got 3,000 phones out in Greenwich Village. I got 8 million miles of cable I gotta check. You're gonna come by and shake my monkey tree again? What are you talking about, pal? The phone lines are over there.
Well, let's
Oh,
see.
was that
Anyway,
when they were in the tunnel? Was that when
Or
the repairmen were in the tunnel?
that was when they were digging up First Avenue and going down the shaft.
Right.
okay.
Okay.
All
Caused a
right.
Carnegie
blackout by
Deli's
accident.
next.
Yep, let's see. Carnegie Deli. Carnegie Deli was a staple in the New York City deli scene, with customers willing to wait down the block for a table at the famed delicatessen. But after 78 years of serving up pastrami and slaw, it closed permanently in 2016.
You guys
Aw,
remember who eats at the Carnegie Deli?
I forgot.
Slimer?
Bowser from Sha-Na-Na and Arthur Fonzarelli.
Ooh, nice.
You guys don't know what I'm getting at, do you?
Yes, I do. Henry Winkler and John Bowser Bauman.
You guys don't remember Here Comes Hanukkah, do you?
No.
It's an old Adam Sandler song talking about
Oh
the joys of
yeah,
Hanukkah and famous Jews, and it had a verse.
yeah. I
It
do
had a
remember
lyric
that.
that went, "Guess who eats at the Carnegie Deli? Bowser from Sha-Na-Na and Arthur
Fonzarelli.
Fonzarelli."
Yep, that's it. You're right. I remember that
All
now.
right.
All right, let's see. 2017, Beso. Eva Longoria's Hollywood hotspot Beso, which opened in 2008, temporarily closed in 2016 for renovations. However, the following year, it was revealed that the restaurant would be opening under new ownership and a new name. So Beso didn't
Nice.
last long.
Oh.
It'd
Okay,
be
and there's
interesting to see what they go to from Bezo.
yeah, let's see. There's Lums again. It was found two brothers in Miami Beach who took their famous beer steamed hot dogs from a location to over 400 franchises around the country. In 1971, they sold the company to the owner of KFC at the time, John Brown. For years, the chain was a staple in shopping malls, but after a new owner, the Swiss company Wienerwald Holdings filed for bankruptcy. Many of the franchises were forced to close. The last Lums restaurant shut down in 2017 in Bellevue, Nebraska.
John Brown owned a KFC. I guess he didn't die during the Civil
Hey,
War.
I love the mashup of this next restaurant.
Yeah. Sushi Samba.
Japanese, Brazilian, and Peruvian.
Yeah. Let's see. The Japanese, Brazilian, and Peruvian restaurant held prime reality, or I should say realty, in New York City's West Village and was a buzzworthy restaurant throughout the late 90s and early 2000s. Now, there's
I
actually
think the
another.
word you're looking for there is aughts. 90s and aughts, teens.
Oh, thanks. 90s
Sure.
and early aughts. I didn't know that. Let's see. Although the Miami location is still open, the famous New York lounge shut down in 2017.
I can't picture Japanese, Brazilian, and Peruvian all together. I could see the Brazilian and the Peruvian, but the
Never know.
Japanese in there.
Yeah, there's of
Well, they
course.
were trying to. I guess they were trying to appeal to different people.
Yeah. The Howard Johnsons. As we. Oh yes, of course they had the notorious orange roofs and fried clams and housed roadside travelers across the country. They disappeared came the new millennium, unfortunately.
Wonder if
20.
they sold
Uh-huh.
steamed hams alongside their fried clams.
Good question. Let's see. 2018. Le Cirque. Le Cirque became famous for its decadent French cuisine in the 80s and had a reputation for fine dining. In 2006, the location opened in Bloomberg Tower, but due to high rent, the restaurant was forced to close down in 2018. That sucks.
That
Let's see.
sucks.
2019, Barbudo. This casual yet sensationally chic eatery in New York City's West Village closed down in May 2019 after 15 years of serving succulent roast chicken, hearty kale salad, and famous wood fire pizza.
Cool.
And last but not least, yeah, we're going to run a little over, but that's okay. The Grill at the Four Seasons. Less than a year after reopening, the Four Seasons announced that it would be closing the East 49th Street dining room as the restaurant world has changed. Managing partner Alex Von Bitter told the New York Times. The institution was open for more than 60 years before closing.
Wow.
Wow. That's a lot of.
Years.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
good that was a good article. I like that. I like that.
Both
too.
the articles were good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
Ashley looks like Pikachu's growing out of her head
yeah.
with the way she's sitting.
I know.
I had to show you guys a demotivational poster about Pikachu once they were off the air then.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Can I
right.
give a
Sorry,
few
Ashley, but
honorable
that's
mentions?
what it looks like.
Say
Go
The
again?
way
ahead.
your head's
Hold Chan.
positioned.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Can I
Mike.
give a few memorable mentions that I can remember of?
Yes,
Let's
absolutely.
see. We got Village Inn. That was a gun in Cedar Rapids.
We
Yeah.
still
old
got
one
a
that you
VI,
had?
I think, here.
The Old Country Buffet. That's gone.
Oh, I remember
We
that.
had an old country buffet here in Arizona, too.
I had one here.
Oh, don't get started barking, dog.
I think Cece's is shutting down.
Well, we still
I don't
got
know.
a CC's here in Goodyear. It's over, I think it's over close to the 99-cent store down on Van Buren.
Okay. I could be wrong, but I think my Cece's near the house is closing. I think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. But
But yeah, those are the ones that I can remember off the top of my head that I've been to. Well, except for there's always I've never been there.
yeah, cuz I never remember Old Country Buffet. It wasn't too bad, but
That was a staple at malls.
It was my favorite.
My friend's mom, when she was alive, liked to go to Old Country Buffet. It was down on Alma School, I think.
There was similar to like Bonanza Steakhouse. There was one called Lone Star Steakhouse in Cedar
I
Rapids.
remember that one.
I remember.
I do remember
That
that
actually
one too.
had that actually had franchises down in Missouri and Illinois, oddly enough.
And I had one.
Gone now. I think it's
Yeah.
Cyberg's
Now,
now.
you know what's really weird? The place where Lone Star was, it's now called Euphoria. But amazingly, the Lone Star big sign is still up there.
Wow. Must have cost too much to take it down.
I guess so, because it's like we need something different because it's not Lone Star anymore. It stopped being Lone Star like ages ago. So, but yeah, that big sign, that giant sign is still up there. So it's like,
Nice.
are they ever gonna get it down? Maybe someone will figure that out later.
At least the one place that's still open, even though it's not in Cedar Rapids, Marion, it's out in Lisbon, Iowa, called Gwen's.
My
Gwen's
mom's
restaurant.
name.
That's
spelled
my
GWEN''S?
yes. That's
My
my
mom's name.
that's my mom's cousin's restaurant.
Oh,
The
nice.
It's a local family restaurant.
Cool.
And they are still looking into like getting it sold because they want to retire.
Yeah.
They've been open for about 35-ish years.
It's good.
Wow.
Lisbon's Main Street. So
Let's see. Oh, I was gonna say something. I just totally blanked. Damn it. Hate it when I do that. But oh, I know what it is now. We had a local establishment here, and like once a month when I was at Herb Jones, 3 people would get selected to go have breakfast with Ken. Ken Holland was the plant manager at the time, and I went to go. We went to a place called DJ's, and basically, what happened was it used to be a post office,
Nice.
and they converted it into a restaurant. Unfortunately, I think TJ's. I'm sorry, not TJ's, DJ's, because TJ's that's yours, Janet. Is TJ still open down there?
Yes.
Is TJ still open down there?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably, yes.
Okay. Yeah, because
Except
unfortunately,
they have the rules and regulations.
yeah, unfortunately, DJ's I think shut down. I think in 2017 or 18. So, as I think the owner was ready to retire, which I can't fault him for that. That's fine. But I mean, a lot of places to me, there's some good memories. Some wish I had gone to. Some I regret, but oh well. But that's how it is. Unfortunately, times change. People's taste in food changes. And it's like
Exactly.
if you don't keep up with it, you're done.
Yeah.
So, but what I'll tell you this, when I watch Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives, and they've had like special episodes where they've had it the at home edition where you've had all these people owning the restaurants. They literally send the ingredients to Guy Fieri, and he basically puts together by what they tell them. So that's pretty cool. But now we got the vaccine rolling out. I'm still thinking about it, but I'm gonna wait for my head to get a little better first because I'm still on the fence. You know what I mean?
Mm.
All right.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit on the fence. It's not. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. It's just if it's anti-vaccine, it's on me only. If whoever's got the vaccine, more power to you. It's like I'm still on the fence right now because the one thing that scares me is what if I have an adverse reaction? What if something happens to me?
Yeah.
That's why when you get your vaccine, they will make you go over to a park in a different place,
Yeah,
and wait 15 or 20 minutes to make sure you don't suffer any adverse effects from the.
Yeah.
my adverse reaction, right? Because one of my new coworkers, her husband did have an adverse reaction. So now I do not know which vaccine it was. So all right. Now before we go, I'm going to give one little bit of news from Netflix. 1 week from today, if you are a Sailor Moon fanatic like me, Sailor Moon Eternal the movie, both parts will be on Netflix next Thursday.
Nice.
I am looking forward to that because yeah, here's the strange thing. You usually find Sailor Moon on Hulu, not Netflix. So this is like a big win for Netflix. So I'm really looking forward to it. Now, some people are saying now I will tell you this. Some people are saying, "Oh no, the music doesn't sound like the anime." I say, "Well, this is just for this particular trailer. I think when it comes out, they're gonna keep the original music because it's not like Sailor Moon in the '90s when it was all different music and such." So anyway, I think this is a good point to wrap it up, don't you think?
Yeah, I
Right.
do.
All right, so one more thing. Tomorrow, of course, is our family fun day, Friday fun day game du jour, which is family friendly Cards Against Humanity. I'll get it right. Edit. No, I'm kidding. And then a quick reminder: Monday is Memorial Day, which means we will have no show because our rule of thumb: if there is no mail, we don't do a show. And of course, Memorial Day is an important holiday anyway because we honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice to keep us free.
Yep.
So
Quote Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Remember this, people. Find the cost of freedom buried in the ground.
exactly. So we do want. So I mean, I've always done it, and that means it'll be time for me to change my profile picture to my dad because you know it'll go through Memorial Day, Father's Day, anniversary of his passing, and the 4th of July. That's the way I've always done it every year for the past, I think, 5 or 6 years now. So,
All right, man.
all right. So, we're gonna have fun tomorrow night. We may, if we played a five, we may get 2 games in there. You never know. So anyway, let me do the
I'm trying
ending
to
real.
find more information on the Baghdad fire.
All right. And no, she's not talking about Baghdad, Iraq. It's Baghdad, Arizona, which is not spelled with an H.
That caught me off guard.
Yeah. All right, so let me see. Where's my ending for food? There it is. All right. Hang on for 10 seconds, y'all.
Holding.
All right. So with that in mind, I'm going to say love, peace, and chicken grease. Everybody have a great night. Sleep well, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow as we play family-friendly Cards Against Humanity. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow.